In 1959, Fidel Castro took control of the island nation of Cuba, only 90 miles from the state of Florida. He established Cuba as a communist nation and began forging a close relationship with the Soviet Union, which concerned the United States. In April of 1961, the United States made an attempt to remove Castro from power. The U.S. trained Cuban exiles who had escaped Castro by moving to Florida and supported them in an invasion of Cuba. This became known as the Bay of Pigs invasion.
Tonight, Cuba is in the dark. The entire electrical grid collapsing today as the country struggles with an energy crisis, leaving millions on the island without power.
Gonzalez. Cuba plunged into an island-wide blackout, leaving millions of people without power after the national electricity grid completely collapsed Monday. This will at least the third and the largest blackout to hit Cuba in just about 4 months, as the U.S. energy blockade has cut off the island from accessing desperately needed fuel. No oil shipments have reached Cuba in more than 3 months, according to the Cuban government, compounding a humanitarian crisis caused by decades of U.S. sanctions. Meanwhile,
Hello my friends, and welcome to another Empire Report. As you may know if you have watched us before, we keep a keen eye on the last sovereign nation in the Caribbean Sea. Over the years the US blockade of Cuba has varied in strength but has always been there. But with the crooked trumpet and his henchmen came to power, things have looked bleak for the island. The US has kidnapped the leaders of Cuba's main oil supplier. They then committed a whole series of war crimes, turning the tranquil Caribbean waters into the Sea of Terror. These actions alone left all of Cuba's friendly neighbors shook. Threats from the trumpet were taken seriously, and so for months now, Cuba has been in trouble. This US-made humanitarian crisis can only be broken by one country and one leader: the Putin.
worst energy crisis in modern history grips Cuba, Russia is using deceptive shipping tactics to bypass U.S. sanctions.
The crisis in Cuba is intensifying. Multiple aid ships arriving from Mexico and Europe carrying much-needed food and medicine, both in short supply because of the U.S. embargo. But what the country really needs is oil, and now 2 Russian tankers are en route to the island. At a hearing on Thursday, the head of the U.S. Southern Command dismissed the idea that the shipment could be a game changer and said it might not even reach its destination.
I don't think it's going to deliver any. If it did, it wouldn't have the impact at scale. So that's the only event I'm tracking.
Top intelligence officials say it's part of Moscow's new strategy to reassert itself in the Western Hemisphere, following the arrest of former Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro, a close Russian ally.
It's been 3 months since a drop of oil has reached the country. Highways are empty because there's no gas. Women are delivering babies in dark hospitals with no electricity. Conditions are deteriorating.
Monday, Trump's negotiators told their Cuban counterparts during recent talks that Cuban President Miguel Diaz-Canel must be removed from power. President Trump spoke to reporters at the White House Monday.
I do believe I'll be having the honor of taking Cuba. That'd be a good honor. It's a big honor.
Taking Cuba.
Taking Cuba in some form, yeah. Taking Cuba. I mean, whether I free it, take it, I think I could do anything I want with it. You want to know the truth?
Whether I free it.
The Americans can say whatever they want. It's the Cuban people who decide what happens.
The Russian tankers are expected to reach Cuba in about a week. In Washington, Mala Rivera, Fox Chicago.
And we will be watching closely. We will bring more updates on the situation in Cuba as the empire continues to squeeze her dry. This was Emenu Gotomrong, bringing you the latest for the Empire Report.
When